I'm Avery Morgan. I'm 27. I'm the one nobody notices at family gatherings. The quiet daughter who doesn't flash designer bags or shout over dinner. People think calm equals weak. I've learned it doesn't. It just means I wait. Today, I'm at our usual Sunday brunch spot in Atlanta. The kind of place where the waiters wear crisp white jackets and the chairs are soft enough to make you forget the ground exists. Sunlight streams through the huge windows, bouncing off polished silverware and crystal glasses. My sister, Haley, is already there, perched like she owns the world. Dad gave me this, said I earned it. She announces, lifting a shiny platinum card between manicured fingers. Her smile is perfect, practiced, the kind that's designed to make everyone else feel small. Mom laughs softly, a warm, indulgent laugh that hides just a hint of superiority. You always were his smart one, Mom says, nudging Haley's elbow. I nod politely, smile, pretend to be impressed. Inside, I'm cataloging every gesture, every glance, every little crack in their perfect facade. I haven't been to brunch in months, not because I didn't want to see them, but because I wanted to watch how far they'd go before someone slipped. Today, I'm back. Not for approval, not for attention, for the view. Oh, so he finally upgraded you. I murmur softly, letting the words roll off my tongue, like a feather landing on water. Haley's laugh falters for a heartbeat. That little crack is enough to make me feel something like satisfaction. Haley doesn't let it show. She sits back, tilts her head, and sips her mimosa as if I hadn't said a word. But I notice, that pause, it's all mine. The table is full of pretense and polite conversation. My parents exchange knowing glances, one that says she's harmless, don't worry. And maybe I am, from the outside. Some people just aren't built for success. Huh? Haley says louder this time, loud enough for the waiter to glance over. I keep my smile, calm, neutral, unshakable. Their laughter fills the space around me. I sip my water, letting them parade their superiority, because silence can be louder than words. My mind is already planning the moment they'll realize they've underestimated me. Haley waves at the waiter. Extra champagne, please. Avery probably can't even afford dessert here. I let the words sink. I let them believe it. Inside, I'm counting every ounce of arrogance, every smirk, every gesture that says we are better than you. The food arrives, eggs Benedict, crowned with truffle, toast glistening with butter, fresh berries arranged like jewels. Everything looks like a photo from a luxury lifestyle magazine. Haley grabs the check before anyone else can even think to touch it. Don't worry, I've got it. Dad's platinum covers everything, she says, flashing the card like a trophy. I sip my water again, calm, controlled, waiting. And that's where we are. The table laughs. The sun glints off silverware. I am the quiet one, but quiet doesn't mean weak. And this brunch, I've waited months for it. Because soon, everything they think they know about me is about to change. The laughter at the table rolls over me like a wave I've learned to surf. I smile, but my thoughts are sharp, watching every flicker of expression on Haley's face, on my parents' faces. They think I'm harmless, that I've stayed quiet because I'm timid. How little they know. Haley leans back, swirling her mimosa, her eyes sparkling with mischief. I can't imagine what it's like to be boring, she says lightly, as if it's a compliment. I nod politely, letting the word hit where it's meant. Mom giggles, brushing a strand of hair from her face. Avery always did prefer simpler things. She eyes me as if she's trying to understand why I don't show off. I sip my water. My fingers rest lightly on the stem of my glass, poised but calm. Inside, I'm counting their arrogance, counting how long it takes for smugness to meet reality. Haley laughs again, louder this time. I mean, really, some people just can't handle the finer things. Dessert alone could bankrupt Avery here, she jokes. The waiter glances our way, polite but cautious. I let the smile stay, soft, composed. But inside, a small fire kindles. You'd be surprised what I can afford now. I don't say it. I let their assumptions fill the space. Let their mockery be their own undoing. Haley waves her hand dramatically, ordering a second round of champagne. One more for me, she says, voice dripping with amusement. And make it extra bubbly, Avery. You probably couldn't afford it. I take a slow sip. The bubbles tickle my tongue, the gold rim of the glass catching the sunlight. My mind is already moving 10 steps ahead. I've waited years for the perfect moment, and I feel it inching closer with each smug glance, each careless laugh. They talk about work, vacations, gossip, but every word, every gesture, only confirms what I already know. They think they're untouchable, and they've forgotten the one quiet person in the room might be the one running the game. And then, as if on cue, the waiter sets down the check with a polite nod. Haley reaches for it before anyone else can breathe. "Don't worry," she says, tossing me a casual smile. "Dad's platinum will cover everything." Her hand wraps around the card, her fingers curling like she's grasping her sense of superiority. I watch silently. They have no idea that the foundation beneath them isn't what they think it is. I lean back slightly, taking in the table, the laughter, the champagne, the way my sister thinks she's untouchable. The sun falls across the table, in golden streaks, like a spotlight on the stage where I've been patiently waiting in the wings. And I know the moment is coming. The moment when quiet isn't weakness. The moment when calm turns into control. Because they've forgotten whose name is really on that card. The check sits between us like a ticking time bomb. Haley leans forward, swiping her platinum card with a flourish. Her smile is confident, practiced, the kind of confidence that's been built on years of people assuming she can do no wrong. Declined. Her fingers freeze mid-swipe. The card slips slightly, clattering against the marble. "Huh? That's weird," she says, forcing a laugh. I watch her carefully, sipping my water as though nothing has happened. Inside, I feel the first ripple of satisfaction. She swipes again. Declined. A sudden, uncomfortable silence blankets the table. Mom fidgets with her napkin, eyes darting between Haley and me. Dad shifts in his seat, jaw tight, fingers drumming lightly on the table. Even the waiter pauses, polite but alert, ready to step in. "Miss Avery, should I charge it to your account again?" The waiter's voice is calm, courteous, but it hangs in the air like a spotlight on a stage. Every head turns toward me. Time slows. Champagne freezes midair. Laughter dies in their throats. Haley's hand trembles slightly over the card. Mom's mouth opens, then closes, searching for words. Dad's brow furrows, and for the first time this morning, his calm demeanor falters. I smile faintly, slow, measured. My fingers brush the glass of water, calm, controlled, unshakable. The quiet one, the one they never notice. Haley's voice is barely a whisper, shaking. "Again? What does that mean?" I lean forward, my expression still neutral, voice soft but precise. "It means that card runs through my company's account. You've been using my business card this whole time." Confusion ripples across their faces. Dad opens his mouth, but no words come out. Mom's smile falters into something like disbelief. Haley stares at me, her teeth catching the light, trembling as if she's trying to process the impossibility. When Dad's business went under, I continue, calm and measured. I took over the holding firm, the debts, the assets, everything, and yes, the cards. Haley blinks, as if the words don't quite compute. "You're lying," she says, but her voice lacks conviction. I slide my phone across the table, letting the screen catch the sunlight. Morgan Holdings LLC, owner Avery Morgan, the balance, the accounts, the company info, clear as day. Dad whispers, almost in awe, "You control everything." "Everything that still works," I answer. My smile is small, controlled, like the calm before a storm. For the first time, the table is quiet. Their arrogance has collided with reality. The air is heavy, thick with shock and disbelief. Haley's hand shakes slightly as she drops the card. Mom looks like she's searching for a clue in my eyes. Dad leans back, trying to process, trying to find a foothold. I sit back, letting it settle. Calm, patient, silent. Power, I know, doesn't need noise. It only needs timing. The first cracks in their perfect little world have appeared, and I've just thrown the first stone. The silence at the table is heavy enough to choke on. Even the clink of silverware seems distant, as if the restaurant itself is holding its breath. Haley's face has gone pale, the platinum card lying forgotten in front of her. Mom's hand hovers over her glass, unsure whether to sip or retreat. Dad leans back in his chair, trying to mask the panic rising behind his calm facade. I pick up my water again, swirling it slowly, calm, measured, every movement deliberate. You see, I begin softly. The platinum card isn't what you think. It runs through my company's account. I've been funding it this whole time. Confusion, disbelief, and just a touch of fear ripple across the table. Dad's eyes dart between me and the phone I slid across earlier, like he's trying to find a loophole, a trick, a reason to deny it. Haley stammers, her voice barely audible. You can't. That's impossible. I lean forward slightly, my elbows resting lightly on the marble. It isn't impossible. When Dad's business went under, I took over the holding company. Every debt, every asset, every line of credit, every card, including yours. Mom's fingers tighten around her napkin, knuckles white. Avery, we didn't know. I know, I say, my voice calm, almost gentle. That's why I let brunch happen like this. I wanted to see how far you'd go, thinking you were untouchable. I wanted to see the show. Haley swallows hard, her laughter from earlier gone, replaced by shock. But everything. I've been using my money. I finish for her. I don't raise my voice. I don't need to. The weight of my words, the certainty behind them, does all the work. I pick up my phone and show them the full statement. Morgan Holdings LLC, owner, Avery Morgan. Account balances, credit limits, approvals, denials, all visible. The reality hits them like a thunderclap. Dad leans back, eyes wide. You control everything. Everything that still works, I repeat. Calm, controlled, unshakable. Haley looks like she wants to scream, to cry, to run. But there's nowhere to go. Mom's mouth opens and closes, searching for words that won't come. The waiter hovers politely, sensing tension but unsure whether to intervene. I sit back, letting it settle. The room is quiet except for the soft hiss of champagne in glasses and the muted chatter of other tables. They can feel it. The shift, the balance of power, the realization that the quiet one, the one they ignored, underestimated, mocked, is the one in control. The table that was so smug, so confident, so untouchable, is now broken. The golden child, the perfect family, the privileged few, they are staring at me with disbelief, shock, and maybe just a touch of fear. And I smile faintly, because the lesson has begun. Timing, patience, and silence can wield more power than shouting ever could. The plates have been cleared, leaving only the empty glasses and the lingering smell of truffle and butter. Silence hangs over the table, thick and suffocating, broken only by the occasional clink of silverware from nearby tables. My family sits frozen, staring at me like they've been cast in some nightmare they can't wake from. My phone buzzes on the table. A text from the fund manager. Renew family's $25,000 monthly allowance. I glance at it, letting the words hang in the air, their significance sinking in slowly for everyone else. Dad's shoulders tense. He tries to laugh, a hollow sound, but it dies midair. Haley looks like she's trying to shrink into herself. Mom's hand hovers over her glass, trembling slightly. I type back slowly, deliberately. Denied. The ping is almost musical in its clarity, like a bell tolling over the table. I place the phone face up, letting them see the message. Silence, their laughter, their smirks, the casual arrogance, they've evaporated, leaving only disbelief. Haley stammers, trying to speak, but nothing comes out. Dad swallows hard, trying to reclaim some authority that no longer exists. Mom looks at me with a mixture of fear and awe. I sip my water again, calm, deliberate, letting the weight of my control settle over them. For years, they've treated me as if I were invisible, harmless, quiet, weak. But all along, I've been the one deciding what flows, what gets approved, and what gets denied. Their golden world of wealth, every card, every dollar, every indulgence runs through me. They are finally seeing it. The truth. The waiter approaches quietly, holding the bill folder with care. I glance at him, nod slightly, and the card is charged. My company account, paid in full. The final piece of the puzzle. Haley looks down at the table, hands fidgeting with a napkin, unable to meet my eye. Dad finally exhales, a sound that carries the weight of realization. All this time, you've had the power. I lean back, smile faint, controlled. All this time, Mom whispers, barely audible. How did we not see it? You didn't look, I answer, soft but firm. You only saw what you wanted to see, and that's the danger of underestimating someone who doesn't shout, doesn't flaunt, doesn't beg for attention. They stare, stunned, stripped of their assumptions. The quiet one, the boring daughter, has been in command all along. And now, for the first time, they understand the lesson. Arrogance is fragile, and power can be silent. No one speaks. The air is thick, almost tangible, as if the restaurant itself is holding its breath. The plates are gone, the check is paid, and yet the tension lingers, swirling around the table like smoke. My family sits frozen, staring at me, each processing the reality they've ignored for years. I stand slowly, heels clicking against the marble floor. The sound echoes, sharp and deliberate, like punctuation at the end of a sentence. Every eye is on me. Dad opens his mouth, searching for words, but the sentence dies before it forms. Haley's hand trembles over the empty glass, her perfect smile nowhere to be found. Mom sits rigid, caught between disbelief and awe. I lift my glass, letting the sunlight catch it. I don't raise my voice. I don't need to. My eyes sweep over them, calm, unwavering, measured. To family, may we all finally learn the value of what we spend. The words hang in the air. They are more than a toast. They are a verdict, a lesson, a reminder. I turn and walk toward the exit, each step deliberate. The echo of my heels is a drumbeat, marking the rhythm of authority I've carried quietly for years. Behind me, they remain seated, suspended in a mixture of shock, humiliation, and realization. I step outside. The sunlight hits my face, warm and bright. I breathe in, calm. The weight I've carried in silence feels lighter now, replaced by the power that has always been mine. They called me quiet. They called me boring. They overlooked me, dismissed me, mocked me. And now, as I walk away from that brunch table, the scene of their assumptions, the truth is clear. Silence can be more powerful than noise. Timing can be sharper than arrogance. And control doesn't need to shout. I glance back once, not out of doubt, but as a final acknowledgement. The lesson has been served. Humiliation, patience, and power, meticulously measured, are sweeter than they could have imagined. As I step into the street, leaving the table and the past behind, one thought stays with me. Power isn't about showing off. It's about waiting, watching, knowing when to act. And I acted perfectly. Thank you for listening. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And hit that bell icon.